Hey YouTube, this is Rodney with RMR Construction, coming to you with a video of my enclosed trailer, how I organize it, what we stock it with, what we keep on it, and what we do. I've had a few different trailers. First one was a 6x12. Ended up being a lot smaller than I needed, but I didn't have the money at the time. It's what I had, so it's what I used. I just recently put this ladder rack up. I bought 2 sets to put these ladders and to get them out of the trailer to make more room, and also extension ladder. We're going to be putting some more walk boards and things like that up later. This is a first one I had was a 6x12, and then I had a 7x14, and now this is 16x8.5. We painted the whole inside when I bought it, brand new. We sprayed all the walls and then the floors. We rolled it. We just did a little different color on the floor than the walls, just to kind of give it some character. You know, why not? On the floor of the tailgate, we never did that yet. Just haven't had a chance to. We're going to be repainting the floor here before the season starts. Our season here in Florida, I live in Central Florida, starts, you know, fall, winter, and spring. So it's summertime now before the northerners come down. We get flooded with work, so we're probably going to do a little bit of revamping to this trailer. Also, this side of the trailer over here, we're going to be building out a little differently than what I have now. So let's start here in the front. I always have a bucket of shims over here, trash can, these garden hose reels here. I've had these for a long time and nothing's ever broke on them. These right here, actually, you unsnap that and this whole thing actually pulls off. I never do that. I leave them right on there. This pulls out. When you're ready to roll them up, you roll it right up just like a hose. Connect it to the next one and go. I have a few different 100 feet on here, and this, it holds a lot. I have some bigger cords here that we use to plug our chop saw and table saw that are back there in, so that we don't burn up the motor. You know, the bigger the wire, the more longer your motors last on your bigger 15 amp machines. Over here, if you see on these 8.5 trailers like this, most of you guys know they come with a the wheel wells on the inside. So I didn't know what was I going to do here when I have this toolbox. You know, what was I going to do? So I took this piece of plywood, which was the side of my cabinet here, okay, and we just mapped out little cubby holes for tools. Put in here paint poles, my levels, you know. We got stops on them so that when you pull them out and you put them back in, you know, you can put the shorter ones in. They don't fall all the way back or push all the way back. You can't get to them. We got some miscellaneous stuff, flathead shovel, some bigger pry bars here, and then this here is kind of how I organize all my hammers and smaller pry bars, flat bars, you know, mini sledge. I always have one of these here, so we don't use the customers. We like to use our own, so that when we get thin set and paint and all that, we work for higher end clients, and you know, we don't be messing their stuff up. So we use our own hose most of the time and our own stuff. We use our own brooms and whatnot. You'd be amazed how many people ask customers to use their stuff, but we try not to. If we you know, like to do that. So on your blades up here, we use the dispensers that come in, we screw them to the wall and use them, put it back, it's good to go. We usually have some backup ones in this drawer here. This gets into this toolbox. So you see here, that's my rapid charger. We can do 6 batteries at a time instead of having all of them battery chargers up here. I have a Bostitch nailer, so I got a charger for that, and I also have a Graco sprayer, and they use DeWalt, so that's why I have this charger. Everything else I have is all Milwaukee, and I stay with that platform because it's easy. They're all the same batteries. Up here we have, there's some paint plastic, a knee kicker, carpet kicker, some things, booties for your shoes, to going in people's houses, some sponges, different sponges we use, some contractors bags, rags and towels, drop cloths and moving blankets that we use for countertops, and we have more drop cloths than that, but that's kind of what we got on here now. Like I said, all the batteries that I use for all these tools here. Now this toolbox, there's a little story behind this. I used to do this type of drawers, so I would build my own because we're carpenters, that's what we do. But over time, I don't have a lot of time now. I did when I first started my company because I didn't have as much work, so I'd spend a lot of time building my own stuff and whatnot, and that's where some tape and plastic and gloves and whatnot is, some spackling and nail putty and ear protection. But anyways, back to the drawers. So I would build all these drawers, and imagine if I built all this, okay, out of like this, okay, which I can, that's what we do. But this is like, I don't know, $500 or $600, this whole situation. And I took the top of it off. The top lifts up and down. I took it off, just took the, drilled out the rivets so that I could put it back on later if I wanted to. If for some reason I needed to put it in my garage or at my shop, I could put it back on. But it'll probably always stay in this trailer or a trailer. And I've had this as the second trailer it's been in. Nothing's wrong with it. It's a little dirty, but it's in great shape. And it only cost me $500 or $600. I slid it in and it's ready to go. I have to spend hours of making it, and also wood and hardware. The hardware's not cheap for these things. Plywood's not cheap. So that's my take on the toolbox versus building all your own drawers. Okay. So up here we have pencils and markers and just miscellaneous air tool stuff, and a little thing for on the side of the road. You get a nail in your tire, which I get nails in my tires all the time going to the dump and on the job site, so we can plug a tire with a, that took me years to realize that I needed to put one on my trailer, but we finally got one. Some squares and sockets. This is my grinder drawer. I got a variable speed grinder, regular grinder, battery powered grinder. We got bullnose maker, different hole saw, diamond hole saws, diamond blades, just different things we use for these grinders. I like to keep everything together in the same drawer if I can. We got chalk lines and chalk, jigsaw blades, multi-tool blades, and sawzall blades. We need to restock a lot of this. We got knives. There's a lot of these missing in here. I got some in my truck and whatever, they're all over the place. And then we got carpet blades. And guys, I don't keep a ton of stuff on my trailer. I have on here what I use. I have a shop, and stuff I don't use on a weekly or daily or monthly basis, I don't have on here because I like to have the room. I like to have the breathing room, and I like to be organized. So in order to do that, I have on here what I use. I don't have a bunch of useless stuff on the trailer. So I found that over time that makes me more efficient. So here is all the Milwaukee stuff I have. This is kind of the drawer I put most of it in. There's an impact missing right there. That's why I like to organize everything, because I know if that's missing, somebody's either walked away with it or it's on a job site somewhere. We need to go back and get it. So here is all the tapes I use. Here's a couple missing out of there, they're out of job. And we got all our bits and torpedo levels and Allen wrenches and a little 3-way that I like to keep on here. Comes in handy sometimes. We're doing multiple things. Chisels and screwdrivers. These little bins here, I think I got these from Harbor Freight right here. Very cheap. And look how organized it keeps that. Fits right in there, no problem. Channel locks and just different pliers and pipe wrenches and snips. This is where I keep all my caulking, colored caulk glues, xylene and mineral spirits and denatured alcohol and lacquer thinner and tile spacers, grout floats. I always keep some Red Guard in here. I do a lot of Red Guard in showers and things. Also these wedges, tile wedges. And another thing is too, you buy these caulks, and buy by the case most of the time. They come in a box, and I just take the top of the box, cut the box off, and now it helps me organize and keep it nice and neat. Over here we have a mixer and a skill saw that I just have. These are my backup. They're electric. There's also a dado set in here and some straps and some extra blades and things. Here is some CA glue that I use for trim work, cabinets, some epoxy for different things that, you know, just to have it. Some hot glue and glue sticks. Let's see here. Got some clamps and my monster clamps for cabinets. Them things come in, they're handy. And some other clamps here. Some coping saws and staple guns and some other pry bars and cat's claw, cat's paw, whatever you want to call it. All my drywall knives in here. The putty knives to bucket scoop. This is something I just bought the other day. They had it at Sherwin-Williams on sale. It's like a pocket knife, but it's a 5-in-1. Pretty neat. So anyways, all my brushes in here, exterior, interior brushes, stains, paints, you name it, they're in there. Rollers, sanding sponges, paint screens for, you know, wire brush for cleaning the brushes out. I usually keep in here. Little mixer. There's another Milwaukee tool. It's a drywall Dremel tool. Works very good. This is another tool that's very neat for mixing the pan, the drill. I can't remember who makes that, but I bought it. They're not cheap. They also have a big one, and I'm probably going to get it. Maybe I'll do a review on that sometime. And then rollers. Got all kinds of roller covers for interior, exterior, epoxy, foam rollers for finer finish paints, trim work and stuff. This is my plumbing section. My plumbing bag here. It's got all my tools and everything in it that I need. If I'm going to be doing a bathroom or something, I just take this in there and it's got everything I need in it. These are miscellaneous parts left over from jobs, and just, you never know. Come out here many times and just need one little thing, and it's in that bag, so it stays right there. So my torch here, this thing used to bounce around everywhere and whatnot, and, you know, one day I was there and they had this little mount for it, and I bought it, and now there it stays. It doesn't move around. Again, this is a work in progress, so as time goes on, every trailer I've had, I've tried to improve it and make it better. Here's my drywall section. It's where I have, I usually have a 20-minute, 45-minute bag of mud, hopper, my hawk. There's some other, you know, tools in here. Some Sure Corner for doing outside corners on some angled walls. This is a cabinet I built to put, you know, the bins that carry different things I need, and I just label the front here what they are, cabinets. So these are all my cabinet screws, you know, for hardware, trim screws, other trim screws, and then these are the ones I use to usually put them in. Then these are screws. These are just, you know, Tapcon screws and hex head screws and, you know, framing screws and drywall screws. And nails. Got my nails for my, you know, brad nailer and pin nails and staple gun, staple nails, finish nails. Get this back up. And this is kind of my miscellaneous box. It's got all my anchors and washers and, you know, just different types of screws. And then I have an electrical box here. Got some wire nuts and, you know, little things. Most of the electrical I do is under cabinet lighting for when I do a kitchen. And change out outlets, and then I do the low voltage under cabinet lights. So, and I just put that there. This is my daughter. She pitches, she colors and draws pictures for me and stuff, and we hang them up in here, and it kind of reminds me of them, you know, through the day. So I got this thing right here. It's just a pad and paper, but it took me forever to realize that I needed one of these on my trailer. When I do trim work and different things, cabinet layouts, whatever, I'd get a piece of cardboard, get a piece of wood, scrap wood on the job, whatever. And one day I was like, you know what, I just need one. So I got it, and it's a beautiful thing. And I keep backup pads in here for that, in case I run out. Got a pack of these from the paint store I always keep in here that open up paint cans, tape. Let's see. Kind of just threw my caulk guns up here, right here, but like I said, over here on this side, I'm going to be revamping this whole side so that some of this stuff that I have, like these maskers that are just up here, we'll be putting them over there in a spot like this side is. So this is where a lot of my cleaning products are, over here. You know, my pre-mixed acid, or my acid that I mix for cleaning grout and bleach and multi-purpose cleaner and window cleaner and WD-40 and hand, you know, Gojo for cleaning our hands if we get stuff on our hands. Wood glue, you know, I usually take the wood glue bottles they come with, and I dump them into these and throw them away, because these work a lot better than the other ones. So then these things I got here off of E-Trailer that hold these spray cans, and every time I don't have a can of this, I got to go get it from the store. So I found what colors I need, you know, the brushed nickel, the Venetian bronze, to maybe paint something that you know, sometimes we take a light down in the you know, the customer, they really like the light, they don't like the globes, whatever. We can spray it and then put new globes on it, and it looks like a brand new light. So we have these to do that stuff. And lacquer, sometimes we fix the side of a cabinet or something, we stain it, and I'm not going to get a big machine out or a, you know, compression or stuff to spray some lacquer. These little cans right here work great. Sometimes we paint inside of after we spray texture, we'll take this black paint and spray inside of an air register and then put it back on, and you don't see all the drywall splatter that got put up into the paint register. Or if we spray a ceiling sometimes, or sometimes we'll mask them off, but it's still nice to spray in black to cover up all that silver on the inside of the registers and things. And it's just little details we do to our jobs, and this rack here that holds this helps us do that. And these bags here, I used to throw them away all the time or keep them, and I never did anything with them. And you know, one day I realized we can use them, and we put tools in them, take them into the job, and then when we're done, we bring them back in here and we unload the tools out of them. So they're a great thing to have. Here's another tool tool that we use very often. It's a SDS drill with it does a drill bit, it does drilling, it does concrete drilling, regular drill, and it's a chip and hammer all in one. Mixer, this is another tool that I had to have when I got it, because I do a lot of tile work, I do a lot of drywall work, and we use that all the time. So we also have our routers. We have 2 routers up here. We have a laser level. This is a kit that I have for I guess my bag for my, there's some kits up there I have for in different jigs that I use for routering out door hinges and things like that. Usually I have my planer, my hand planer right here, but I got it in my shop right now. I'm working on it. There's some problems with it I gotta fix. This is my skill saw I use 99% of the time. It's got one of the 9 amp hour batteries in it. Belt sander, some gloves. Again, that's why we're building this side out over here, so I can put things like the gloves. They shouldn't really be in there. In my opinion, they should not be in there. I got an extra filter for the vacuum. We clean the filters out, we wash them out. We always have an extra one just so it can be drying out to put back in the vacuum to use right away. Here's all my small, I have a little, you know, 1/2 inch, I'm sorry, I think that's a 3/8 staple gun, doing a lot of aluminum work and stuff like that. 1/4 inch staple gun, pin nailer, 23 gauge pin nailer. I got an impact right here that we use, you know, just in case. Sometimes we use it to put lags in, carriage bolts, or, you know, if you got a flat on the side of the road, I got one right here in the trailer, ready to go. Got this little air compressor, just if we're going to be doing a little trim work or something in the kitchen, we pull that out. It's light, easy to get in there. It's very, very quiet. It's a very awesome little compressor. Not cheap, but it works. I've had it for a long time. Framing nailer, strap nailer, finish nailer, battery powered. This is something I've been trying to get into here. Battery powered brad nailer. I love it. I can pull this out and put 10 nails in a matter of minutes, when before it would take me 30 minutes, get the hose out, get the cord out, get the compressor out, do all that. Now it's there, ready to go. It's actually wanting to shoot right now. Another brad nailer, the new technology they have, the Smart Point. That's why I got that. Works fantastic. Down here we have a Graco sprayer and another air compressor, and my small vacuum. I just bought that one. I had the other one for a long time and I just needed to replace it. I'm still going to keep it. It works, nothing wrong with it. Just the top keeps pulling off when you pick it up. So figured, I've had it for 8 years, time to get a new one. Chip and hammer, big chip and hammer. It does SDS, but it's mainly my chip and hammer for, you know, chipping up concrete, tile. It's a big boy. We also have my chop saw on a rigid stand. It's a DeWalt. We have the little D-rings here. We have a strap. We put it up against the wall. We hook it in. We strap it tight, and it doesn't go nowhere. Okay. Same thing with my table saw and table saw stand. I just use a little strap on that one because it's a lot lighter than the chop saw. We have 2 4-foot ladders we keep up there. Here's where all my trials are. Brick trials, tile trials for laying tile, glue trials for vinyl and carpet and whatnot, concrete trials, buckets, where I keep my buckets, drywall. Usually the buckets are up about this high, but right now I don't know why, but I don't only have a few. Drywall, bit, and also a one for some thin set or grout over here, or concrete. And then this is kind of a A-frame that I built a while back when I first got the trailer. Kind of just did it real quick. I got some lumber in there right now. We got to strip out a wall and a ceiling, so that's what that's in there for. So yeah, this side is what I want to do. This side over here is where I had the ladders that are on top of the ladder rack, and I want to build this whole section out. So that's why I put the ladders out there. I want to be able to get my paint sprayer and a hose and just some different things up here. Kind of the same as this side is, you know, but over here. And yeah. Also, my brooms are up here on a, you know, just one of them cheap things that snap in. They're very strong. They hold it no problem. And also I have it wired. So I have the trailer wired here. So that runs down there outside to a plug, which is an inlet. Okay. And I just put an exterior plate cover, you know, so no rain and stuff like that gets to it. And also ran from there, goes under the trailer over to this one. Okay. This one has a single bank Promar, I guess it's a battery charger, trickle charge, that charges a deep cycle battery, which is in this, and then that is hooked to a wire that goes up the wall to the switch, from that switch into the wall up to these wires, which go to these lights. Okay. So the trailer always has power and lights. Well, lights without being plugged in. Once it is plugged in, then these chargers are plugged into this and over there. And now that's plugged in. We have power on this. So that can play the radio, which it's battery powered, but sometimes we just plug it in. We can charge our batteries. You can put your phone here and charge your phone. We also kind of have a square over here that I kind of got tucked away. There's all kinds of things in here that I want to do. This was kind of done in a weekend, the way I built this out. So yeah, like and subscribe if you guys like the video. I'm going to be making more videos. Don't be too crucial of me. This is my second video I've ever made. I'm just out here trying to make a living. Alright, thank you guys, and y'all have a blessed day.